Hello, hello. Welcome to Beasts of the Timetwist. I'm Tal, and we are in the middle of a combat. I would like to apologize if I appear disheveled or fatigued. I'm just emerging the end of an illness.
Oh
I'm
no.
still ready to battle.
We're with you, Tal. Whoa!
Maybe this means that he's
Okay.
gonna mess up he's gonna actually skip his own turns.
He sneezes and instantly sets off an extra D12 of damage and doesn't notice.
Well, I'm glad you all will take pity on me in my state of weakness.
Hey, you know that I have. Anyway, give us music.
Stream sounds good, by the way.
Thank you.
Right.
Oh. Right, I only have the battle music, so we shall have to use this until the recap is done. Who wishes to recap?
I can.
Okay.
Okay. So at the end of the session before last, we were fighting some villagers who were in a state of pain, causing them to act like hordes of zombies. And Cashmere had managed to break into Shantaea's temple in Valandria, just kind of where we were all trying to get into. Around the start of last session, we got everybody else inside, and we started discussing the situation with the other villagers who were taking shelter inside the temple. We kind of got the impression that whatever is going on with the villagers does seem to be connected to Garrick, the tilapia we met on our last journey here, who seemed to have the power to pause people's afflictions. However, Garrick himself disappeared around the time things started going south. We guessed that maybe he went to a nearby river, being a fish and all, so we took off in that direction. Reginald, Reginald, who is, I guess, a priest of Shantaea, accompanied us. Alex managed to catch Garrick's scent by using Wild Shape and tracked him upriver. However, as we started getting close to our destination, we got attacked by a pair of Gricks that proved to be a bit too much for us to handle, since they actually managed to down Crim in a single turn. We attempted.
One of them downed Crim in a single turn.
Those are some good rolls.
We tried to take shelter in the river nearby, but then there were giant crocodiles that showed up as well, so we're dealing with those now. Crim managed to get Reginald out of the way of the crocodiles and into one of the caves that the river runs alongside, and found Garrick hiding inside. That is where we left off.
Wow.
Which turn do we do about that?
I think at the top of the round.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we left off the top of the round because I very specifically recall Turner ascending so that way he can get out of the crocodile's reach while still being able to keep an eye on Wade and Alex.
Are we
and Turner's at the
sure?
bottom of initiative.
I don't actually remember.
We should have left notes.
Probably.
I mean, also looking at the chat log, the giant crocodile is the last person who made a move, and I believe that Bugle very specifically likes to use his dice, likes to use the Foundry, whereas the other three of us like to use our physical dice. So I'm pretty confident that it ended up on Turner's turn.
Top of initiative feels like simple. Let's to leave things off to me.
Yeah.
Very well. It is the 11th day of the second spring moon in the year 171 after Scatter, and a particularly rainy one, as the flowing, choppy river here at the overhanging cliffs and boulders frothing with not only that natural turbulence, but also the combat, including the giant crocodiles. But up on the cliff, hating the weather, is this Grick. It comes over here, very cautiously peers over the edge, and retreats to parts unknown. It's turn.
It's kind of sad that like they were running away now that we were actually kind of like kicking their asses for a bit.
Were we?
Tell music.
Well, I mean, they were like stunned, webbed, prone.
Yeah, you did good damage on both of them.
Cashmere's turn. Is that right?
That's my turn, right?
Oh, I was like,
Shoot.
they were both in initiative. I forgot. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Sorry, comrades, I'm running out of tricks here, but it's worth a try.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, once again, let's do this. Let's see if old spells work on also old crocodiles.
Bugle.
He's gonna do another discipline run.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
Give me a D.
Bugle.
Bugle, hold on,
So-
you're super choppy with your internet.
Sorry, I didn't see the link.
Fuck. All right.
He's
Bye,
dead.
Bugle.
He'll come back.
Maybe.
Hello.
Is this better?
So far, so
Yes.
good.
I got you. I did you hear the quip, or do I have to say it again?
I heard nothing.
You have to reiterate your quip.
All right. Wait, let's let the whistle to his lips once again. Sorry, comrades, I'm running out of tricks here. I'll try as he tries to do another distant whisper on the crocodile. Give me a DC 15 int save, or else you'll be forced to run away.
I assume you mean the
20
crocodile that's right
character.
on.
Correct.
Intelligence. Oh! 3.
Haha. Good times. All right.
0, actually, sorry.
Fuck
Wow.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna roll those dams. It's like old times. Let's see. You will take. That was my last first level small slot, unfortunately, but I think that's worth it. You'll take 11 psychic and then run away.
Does he do that as a reaction or on his turn?
This is a reaction.
Oh, okay. Full speed, right?
Yes. Yeah. But with, obviously, away from danger is. You know, what happens if you distant whisper that you grab onto them? Like you can like use them like a tugboat.
You could.
Oh my god.
I recommend it here.
Alright, in any case, and then we will move half speed through the 10 feet through the water, and then he'll prop himself up onto this little gap right here out of the water.
Oh, that's not out of the water. It's like a path.
That's
Oh, it's
to
got
another
through the
cave.
water.
It's another
Like
cave.
this is out of the water here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mouth of a cave. The black is just the walls of the cave.
Might not be a bad
Yeah.
idea to make shelter in there for now because this one is still gonna be a problem.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
if
can't
you
push you
can get
back.
to ours. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, sounds good. It'll be harder to talk to Garrick, and so goes. He gets me out of this.
And
In
once
that
the
case,
crocodiles lose their interest.
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. That just so going here in the cave. And then, pass turn.
Reginald swims, but spares half a mind to pay attention to the injuries of those around him. How injured do Cashmere and Crim look?
How much indeed? Cashmere is actually fine because he has some temporary health.
Yeah, from my speech.
He's overhealed.
Somehow, Crim is not bloodied, but he does have an injury.
Yeah, Cashmere's positively glowing in the water.
Okay.
And I forgot flavor. Could add flavor.
Then Reginald devotes his full attention to swimming, and will pass to myself in a sec. You see him overtake you, Cashmere, and like comes out of the water, dripping, shaking his feathers, looking unhappy. Skrick is still stunned, I think.
I think it's still stuck. Or I don't know if it's stunned.
I think that stun probably would have expired by now. Okay, well, it'll leave town. Now it's Cashmere's turn.
All right. Cashmere will. Oh, the brick there. We'll move on to land here. He will stand on shore, shake himself off, wring out his ears. He'll look back and to Crim, who you can still see barely. Make sure they get in here. It's dry. And then he'll look further into the cave, where I'm assuming he can see the fishman.
See the fishman and nothing but the fishman, who looks a little out of it and does not seem to be looking at you.
Always a good sign.
Cashmere, like, seeing him here, we'll pretty much just lose all attention to the fight going outside, and we'll storm over. Probably, like, around here-ish.
Okay.
Hey! What are you... How'd you get in here? What are you doing in here? We've been looking for you!
He has enough time to jump and look at you, and you feel like if he was a feline or canine, his whiskers and ears are just going to droop and sag. But even without that, you can tell he looks like he feels awful. He feels guilty. No words come to him immediately.
Can I run an insight check?
Sure, he didn't really do anything else this turn. Yeah.
Yeah, may as well. I'm looking to see if there's anything about him that seems off outside of regular nervousness.
Okay.
I have a bad neck ache.
Oh god.
18. Okay.
Yeah, 18.
He looks, so, feels bad, feels guilty, you already knew that.
Yeah.
I will say you would also be able to detect, he's like a loyal hound. Like, with that guilt, he's like looming towards you like he wants to comply. He wants to make you not angry with him anymore.
Hope you please her.
Cashmere just sighs, exasperated. When we get out of here, I'll make sure you know just how scared everyone else is. But whatever. When we get out of here, like motions for him to follow.
He will do what he can, perhaps on his turn. Let's give him initiative.
I'm not angry at you, I'm just disappointed, Garrick.
That's not actually what it is. I rolled manually. Okay. Oh, hey, wow.
Oh, hey, yeah. I'll end my turn, so you can go now.
Okay, now I have to decide what he does. I wanted to stay. It got complicated. I was hounded. You really think we should go out right now? It sounds stormy. But okay. And he starts following you.
Yay.
Crocodile tries to eat Alex. Slams him with his tail first for good measure. 11 to hit.
That will miss.
10 to hit. Okay.
That hits.
Fend him off.
It turns out It turns out he has a feature where if you roll an 11, then his AC drops significantly.
Have
All right,
reverse
add 1d8
AC.
to your AC.
This gargoyle swims up here. Doesn't find any cheetahs in the area, or does he?
The search action. Been a while since we've seen that.
Comes over here. Okay, yep, you're right there. He tries to squeeze in his jaws. Snash, snash. Raindrops spraying into the cave, wetting you further.
It's like seeing in Jaws, where like weights like on his back, his neck is like thrashing in front of him. It's a bad dummy.
Oh, is he gonna go into the cloud of daggers right there?
He sure will, yeah.
Okay.
Ouchies.
I believe he is going to take some nasty damage. Upon entering, you are going to take 44 slashing damage. There's no save for this.
Oh.
That's a pretty good roll too. 3-3-3-3.
Blood in the water now. He's bloodied, and he retreats from this strange distortion. Pass turn.
Okay. Seeing the current situation, Crim kind of cranes his neck to see how Alex is doing. Is he stuck?
I mean, I could dive under it. I assume the water is deep enough for me to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that Alex is in relatively okay shape, and Turner is 30 feet in the air, presumably okay. No
He kinda
idea
motions for you to go.
where Wade is, but he follows Turner's lead on that, and takes the disengage action as I determine. Yeah, that's not. There we go. As he just swims in. Bonus action. There is no bonus action. Pass turn.
Just realized I don't even have to, because he's 2 sizes larger than me, so I can just move through his space. We're gonna go 5. Come on. Come on. Hold on.
I don't think it lets you because it's the same. Oh, never mind.
10, 15, 20. I will go ahead and disengage. Come on. 25, 30. And pass turn.
Okay. Turner's going to maintain his current position, and he is going to move the cloud of daggers. Hold on, let me first get a. Okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly where the tokens are. I don't know exactly where the tunnel connects to this rock here, but Turner's basically going to discourage the Croc from being in this location at all by moving the cloud of daggers right onto it near the mouth of the cave.
Oh.
So that poor guy is going to take this much.
Okay.
So yeah. It works both when I move the space onto another creature's space, or vice versa when a creature moves onto its space. As well as, I believe, starts with its turn inside there, but it can only take it once per turn. So we'll take it on its own turn. And hopefully get the message to get out of there.
So it takes it now and on its turn?
And at the start of its turn.
That seems unique.
Well, per the wording of the spell, when the cube space enters the creature space, or a creature enters the cube, or starts its turn inside, the creature takes 44.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, it doesn't say once per round unless that's the intent that Doc had.
I'll write down to look at it again later.
And I'll just pass turn. Turner's basically gonna wait for this thing to move before he tries to swoop in. Wait.
Round. First, well, just me is affected. They will swim, be pushed by the river.
All right.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Oh no. I'm above water.
I think you're like at the edge of the water, like maybe you're standing in it.
I got you. I go like back here.
Yeah, I think if you go over here, you'll be out of the water. Is that correct, Tal?
Is there even downward flow where Wade is? I don't think that applies for his current location.
Yeah, you don't need to be force moved.
Alright, cool.
So what do you do, Wade? It's your turn.
Alrighty. Oh, damn it. Sorry.
we gotta
Right, Cal,
quick
this is fast. Right, Cal, this is fast.
Good.
Smile, you son of a whore. As Wade will load in a magic stone, and he'll aim it at the crocodile right here. Oh. John's getting plays in the distance. I got you. Let me just double check my modifiers real quick. Apologies for that. Alright, let's see. This doesn't hit, I can use inspiration. Aha!
Heat.
Fuck yeah, nice. Alright, gotcha. Alright. And then, and as you can see, like as the magic stone goes, as it impacts against his skin, it like explodes into shrapnel as Wade casts Hail of Thorns as a bonus action.
Whoa, you can do that on your magic stone?
Well, basically, let me double check this spell description. But on bonus action, what you take when you hit a creature with a ranged physical attack.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically give me a DC 15 Dex save or save for half 1d10 piercing.
Okay, activate crocodiles. Ooh, this is close.
This is-
9.
Aha! Nice. So you take full damage on this. This spell has been a lot more situational than I thought because it injures everyone adjacent to a target, which usually the melees are adjacent to the enemies.
Which unfortunately these two actually are not adjacent. Kind of comparing their the actual like location of their tokens. They don't
So
connect.
it goes. Alright, since you fail full, you'll take that much damage, Tal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about to
Cool.
have like dinner for the next week prepared.
Mhm.
And some new shoes.
If I still had a first level slot, I might try to convince them away, but I ran out. And he'll back us up more into the cave and pass turn.
Yeah, I think they're gonna realize this is not gonna be an easy meal.
He looks like a corny kitten.
Okay. Poor crocodile.
Oh, that poor thing.
Reginald sees you with the tilapia cashmere and turns back to the water. Currently can really only see Crim squeezing in, looks fine enough. He rocks from talon to talon, starts to say an incantation. Don't need it. We're fine. Hurry in, hurry in. Where's Turner and the cat? Come on.
Working on it.
Pass to Cashmere.
Alright. Cashmere also move over near to Reginald and ask Crim in particular, is everyone... Are we missing anybody? I only see...
I thought you had Wade.
You see a flashing dotted outline in the shape of Wade next to you.
Wow.
Like, where is he? Look through the wall and you can see, like, his silhouette because he's your ally.
That's a Foundry joke.
I don't have Wade. Where is he? Oh, he's just gonna have to find his way. Hey,
I think I saw another cave. I don't hear them eating anything, so that's good at least.
wait.
Right?
Garrick, you can swim, right?
I hope so.
He's not the type of character to go like really, but if he was, he would. So he says, yes, I'm good at swimming, of course.
Okay. If it comes down to it, we might need your help. That'll prove it. That'll prove that you're with us. Okay?
I have no idea what's going on. Okay.
Don't worry about it. We'll scold you later.
Great.
And the emotions for Crim to come on. And that's a
Picturing
turn.
Wind Waker. Come on!
I can't. It's not my turn yet.
Well, hurry up.
Garrick approaches
yeah.
more people that are coming into the cave, and especially Reginald. I'll say Reginald would have produced some light. Can you do that? Yeah, Reginald would have produced some light. He recognizes him. He sees the dragon coming in again. He becomes a bit more hesitant, even though he said absolutely he will obey. He's just not like effectively in initiative, like, oh yeah, let's go right this moment kind of now. He's like, oh, let's take in what's happening. So he's hesitating.
I think it's a good idea to maybe, at the very least, have people able to lick their wounds, and while we're in a safe spot, maybe talk things out.
This crocodile does a token effort to assess your height. Goes for the other cave instead. Goes for the cloud of daggers.
Daggers have done a lot of damage.
And yeah, tries to smash and eat Alex. Take 2. 13 to hit.
Nope.
And the
Fairly.
bite.
You have like the opposite look as last session.
19 to hit with a bite.
There we go.
That will hit.
It jinxed.
Okay. This is an auto fail effect. As it bites you, you are restrained.
Turner, watch out! I can see it coming for you. Or Alex, watch out! Add a 1d8 to your
Can
DC.
he?
And he's in another cave.
Yeah,
Wait
there's
is
no line
not
of
aware of
sight.
this happening.
It's any
Yeah.
creature that can hear or see me, I believe, for bardic inspiration.
I
So,
mean,
Why does
don't-
Wade choose to do this?
it's raining. He's in another cave. There's rolling water. I don't know if he can hear it.
Yeah, I think it's
Alright.
yeah. I appreciate you going for a pickle, but yeah, I don't think that's reasonable to be able to.
Alright.
Sorry. Okay, you take 13, 18, 23 piercing damage, and you're grappled restrained.
Me. Is restraint. Okay. I do actually maintain concentration for what it's worth
Nice. On the snare thing on the surface?
on the web. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I rolled high enough. Might as well.
Use the last 20 feet of its movement to drag you 10 feet with it.
There we go.
Crimstone.
Does that activates my opportunity attack with my tail?
Oh, dang.
Unfortunately, I miss. Wait, this thing is an alligator. This might actually hit. Am I blessed right now?
No.
We're not blessed,
Okay.
but we always start with resolve if you want to use it.
No. It's just an opportunity attack.
That's fair.
13?
Miss.
Okay.
Your turn.
Oh, I wasn't sure your turn ended. Okay. Well, we're doing this again, I guess. As Crim attempts to go closer. Then he just... No, you don't! He tries to grab Alex. We're doing this again.
Tug of war.
Using
Okay.
his tail to grapple Alex. I believe this was a contested athletics check.
Yeah, last time we did escape, I think we wanted to shift to contested grapple.
Yeah.
Okay, I will make
Oh yeah,
a...
I forget. But yeah, I'll go with whatever.
Yeah, because I think we realized that an athletics check with expertise is basically just going to completely be better than a strength save.
Yeah,
So athletics versus athletics?
I think so.
Doc nods.
Hmm.
Okay, sounds good to me. It's pretty strong. 10.
This is where I'll use my resolve.
Do you have
I don't think you were supposed to
advantage
nat
on
20.
this?
Oh.
What was
What?
that, Doc?
Does I can't remember if being embiggened with Behemoth gives advantage on strength checks or not.
Am I embiggened right now?
Yes.
Your overload, overdrive.
Overdrive.
Oh! Advantage on strength checks and saves. I
Nice.
totally overlooked that. Well, no resolve then. Nat 20.
Oh!
Dang!
How do you do this?
This time at Crim, it's kind of like he did it the first time and he was really nervous, but now it's the second time, so he's like, alright, I know what to do here. And this time he, like, wiggles his tail and, like, shoves it in the back of the gator's throat, and then right when the gator's like, what? He quickly grabs Alex in a corkscrew and just tugs him out, and then starts trying to run.
Cool.
And Alex, please take 3d10 slashing damage as you're pulled out of these very sharp teeth.
Let's see.
So I am technically still grappled.
Yeah, Crim will move with a little bit of movement here, but that's heavy because he's grappling someone. No, wait,
Does-
Mythic build, he doesn't
yeah,
have
I
to
was
worry
about to
about
say.
that as much. Yeah, okay. If that's the case, Crim will then move... No, Alex can swim on his own, so he can do this. Crim will do one last movement, past turn.
Okay.
And he will release Alex freely.
Okay. I am going to let me go ahead and swim into the cave and onto land. I am going to cast message on Turner. Do you have a way to get in here?
Do I answer now or on my turn, Tal?
I think you can answer now because it's part
Yeah.
of the spell's
Okay.
effect.
He'll kind of just say back, I'll be fine, and Wade is currently safe.
I nod, though nobody else knows why I'm nodding.
Technically, Turner doesn't either, even though you're nodding.
He doesn't. Pass turn.
Alright, Turner will use an action to move the cloud of daggers right at the edge of the space where this crocodile is at, so that way, after the forced movement, it'll still be on it.
Wow, that's fucking taking
Act-
full advantage of their gigantic size. That's really clever.
So, let's see.
Oops, actually I made a second one. Let me get rid of that. And, what's up,
So
Doc?
Cloud of Daggers, I believe, just occupies a single hex.
Oh, sorry,
It's a 5-foot cube.
yeah, it's currently on a hex right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so when it goes down 10 feet, it should theoretically still be on it. Anyway, in that moment, it will take this much,
Ow.
and I will use a quicken spell to blow up this other one to try to shoo it. I'll cast a second level shatter spell.
Oh shit. That's pretty good.
He'll be aiming it kind of like, at the edge, so it won't hit so the shatter won't hit the cave or anything like that. Just maybe make like a little rupture in the water.
Come on.
Oh crap, sorry, wrong tab. Shatter, you're going to please make a save of a con value.
Very bad rolls. The second half of this combat. 10.
That is an absolute failure, and you're going to take 15 points of thunder damage, I believe.
Owie, that puts him at death's door.
Okay. Turner will just kind of maintain his position. That's my last second level spell slot, but luckily I regained one on intermediate rest. Past turn.
I love the image of kind of like directing this cloud one way and then blows up the other one, like in the storm. That's so cool.
He's crossing his arms too, just to make it look extra cool. Just like while
Alright,
flapping his wings. Whoosh.
Before your turn, they get pushed 10 feet.
Yep, still in the space.
Okay, babe.
Alright, let's see. Just think there's the room. Just check space. Yeah, man. He's firmly off. Alright. That's not any more fun for you than it is me. But, Wade will just cast Minor Illusion at the exit and make a big 5 foot wall of spikes in front of the exit. And then they'll need to use their awesome investigation score to discern that it's not actually a wall of spikes.
But then it just tries to break through it.
Or like something obviously that would like hurt it if it tried to investigate it. I don't know, like an alligator.
Spike seems pretty simple to me.
Yeah, I'm just being silly
sure.
behind me.
And, if he was closer, I was going to have Wade like shillelagh up and try to knock it out.
Do you really want to risk that? But you're called up.
Yeah, true. All right. In that case, yeah, everyone, I'm fine. He'll pass up before we're
Fine. Everything's fine. It's like weapons malfunction.
How are you? That's a Star Wars reference for those uninformed.
Turner, you're able to hear him, but I think it's a little tricky for those in the cave. The other cave, that is.
Is it? Cashmere has the big ears. I might do a check on his turn.
At the very least, Turner let Alex know so.
Okay.
So, initiative ends because they do their ultimate technique and shoot beams into both the caves and you explode.
Neat.
Just for funsies,
Classic.
on that last one, we'll take this much more damage as it goes away. Just because. Damn, it's not blood.
One on the bottom right turns tail and goes, this time with no Dissonant Whispers needed. This one, more sharp, jagged things keep cutting it. Leaves that cave, starts sniffing around this one. Its eyes just above the water, sees those spikes, and it hasn't had enough of sharp objects for the moment. It is also fairly wounded. It leaves too.
We won PG-13 style, guys.
Okay. Basically, as they make their way out, Turner will just kind of give a quick glance to see if there's anything else threatening, and then just kind of like using, maneuvering the clouds to always be behind Wade. He'll just kind of try to guide him through. It's like, now's your chance. Let's get with the others.
He looks abjectly miserable with his wet fur, but he'll try.
Okay.
I'll probably head back out and try to find Wade and help bring him back inside.
You come across a cornered cat. Is everyone else all right?
Yeah, they're fine. Let's go.
All right. And then Wade just breaks up to a running start. Oh gods.
Here, hop on my back. I'll carry you.
I would offer, but then I'd be swimming too.
Well, that would make my pride cold, Alex. But I don't have that much pride nowadays. Crap hard.
Okay. If we're back, it's pretty cold, but fortunately this river water comes from a lake. It isn't like fresh snow melt or anything. Still, not fun.
Alright. Oh, Garrick, good to see you, friend.
Oh, good. We're all here. Now then. Cashmere swings around and turns on Garrick. What is your problem?
So this cave, for those who can't see in the dark, it's given a sinister ambience by the soul light being, I believe, from Reginald's light spell. But his expression is dark as he seems to agree with your accusations, Cashmere, studying Garrick, who is this uplifted tilapia, water-drenched, though he doesn't seem to be minded by it. He is a fish, after all. He doesn't have much on him. There are some supplies in the back of the cave, half-shadowed. Looks like a cooking setup. Some refuse, some drenched clothes. Garrick himself doesn't seem injured. Just wary and guilty, as I described before.
The damage is done, Garrick, but we're here to try and help.
Can you do me
We
a favor?
should.
Can you do us a favor, please, and start from the beginning of how everything went down?
Yeah.
We can rest here and wait out this storm.
As they say that, Crim shrinks down. He's back to normal size.
At first, I thought you meant like more like a scolded
No.
puppy. Until I realized you meant literally shrinks down.
He looks at you, Cashmere. He's a little... Is he taller than you?
I doubt it.
Okay. Well, he's about your height. Is that okay with you? Can we wait here? I thought we were leaving. I don't want to disappoint.
I think it would be.
He's-
Go ahead.
Cashmere just kind of blinks at him and rubs his head. I don't know. I'm all turned around. Yes, we can wait.
All right. He backs up a bit.
We'd probably like throw some torches on the ground and like do a little presto to light up a little campfire for us to talk with the ambiance. It's like the episode Avatar, where the airbender where like Zuko and Aang are talking about their backstories and like Aang's in the dark cave with a campfire.
I can see it. Yeah, as you set that up and the fire begins to dry some of you and warm the otherwise dark, cold cave.
Reginald, by any chance, are you able to dry us? Thinking of the Creator Destroy Water spell.
Mm-hmm.
And Presto also? No, I forget.
I don't think Presto was dry.
It can warm fluid. Wade was got like warming pokes with Presto if it helps.
I see.
No, I'm afraid not. And I'm more interested in what he has to say. Forgive me.
I mean, it's not a mutually exclusive. Never mind. Yes, Garrick, please try to start from when we left you and what the situation is now.
Of course, I can do that right away. Are you all... Obviously, you're together. You arrived at the same time. You're all coming from Valandria?
Yes.
We were just there.
Yeah. We ended up in this cave, I imagine the same way you did.
I don't think it was exactly the same. He's kind of look at the lack of injuries on Garrick's part.
Well, Reginald cuts in. Explain, now! I wanted to stay. But back then, people didn't know what was happening. They wanted me to be safe. Someone told me to stay safe. And I obeyed. I started isolating myself more, talking to people less, especially when they started getting angry and not understanding why. People started telling me to do different things, come back, explain. Again, I tried to do that. I tried to be good. I tried to obey. There's this otter hounding me. He wanted the power. But something told me it'd be bad to give it to that man, and... Anyway, I gave him the slip. I came here. And I was going to go back, but I began thinking surely other people would be hunting me for revenge, or to take the power to try to fix things themselves. But I can tell you that neither of those would do them any good. I was going to return to pay for my sins. I just wanted one more day to stay safe, and then it was another, then another. I'm sorry.
Know
Um,
why this happened?
Yes.
Is it because the pausing like spread in a way that's not good? I don't know how to phrase it. This is all new magic to me.
No. It's... Again, Reginald cuts in. Didn't you know it stopped healing? Didn't you... Even the natural bodily healing we all have? Mental? Physical? Surely you knew as you kept using it a few weeks ago how it worked. Garrick says to you and Crim, technically, yes. I was seduced by the short-term happiness. I've always strived to cause joy and solace my whole life, even before I became a medic, became a follower of Talona. I didn't know... Did I know that it would lead to compiling small injuries and bothers that would result in a strange sort of insanity? Not exactly. I mean, if you knew someone was diseased and it was only going to worsen, wouldn't you halt it in their tracks, even knowing there might be some kind of problems at some point?
Take the hope we can. So,
Not as haphazardly as you have.
if it stops bodily function, if it stops bodily functions, if you were to say get a paper cut, the blood wouldn't clot. Something like that.
Wouldn't
Is
it
that what you're
repair
saying?
itself to put you back in the same state you were in before you were cut, though?
No, it's not exactly like that. It prevents things from getting worse or better. It doesn't rewind or fix or set things at a certain point.
Well, either way, it's gone a bit bad now. So, from what I can tell, you're driven to help people, but it seems like you're always looking for direction on how to do it, and that's why you've been here the whole time. So, as much as I don't want to push you around or anything, why don't we help carry you back and have you try to undo that and return people to normal, and we'll take it from there. I mean, it seems to me that you didn't mean to do any of this. You were just scared, and everyone was overwhelming you with expectations and things. You're given a great power, but it just seems like everyone's taking advantage of you, and you don't want to stand up to them, because maybe you're a people pleaser. I kind of get that. Nothing really likes. I don't really like anything more than if everyone just smiles at me and tells me I did a good job and things like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that.
Are you sure you were not a canine and not a bird?
He almost smiles at you, Crim. You get it. I wasn't scared. I only... People kept telling me to do things. That's all.
Yeah, we all.
Do you know how
I
to?
suppose... Oh,
Do
sorry.
you know how to? Do you know how to undo this? Can it be done on a large scale, or would it have to be on one person at a time?
Can it even be done on one person at a time?
Sorry, what was that, Doc?
Can it even be done on one person at a time?
Looks like he really doesn't want to say what he's about to say. Remember when I said it wouldn't do them any good to hunt me or take the power for themselves?
What? What are you saying?
I don't think I can make it stop.
Why? What are you saying?
Did you lose the power?
I tried. I used the power. I can maybe shift it. I can't really take it back, or I don't know how, or there's more to it. I can't.
Shift it? How do you mean shift it? Like you can move it to other people?
No, I can sort of wobble the effect in someone. I don't know if that even does anything.
Well, taking it away might not help, but the other times we've seen powers like this happen, when it went away, the powers also went away. The effects went away. There was a while back, there was a eternal night thing going on in the forest. It was a little creepy, actually, but once it went away, the light went to normal too. Except, if you're confident that won't happen, well, the powers have also been pretty certain with that. But there has to be a way. You don't just apply something like that.
Let's
Maybe I
not-
can at least try to help one person.
This conversation is slowly like shifting away from Cashmere and the others more towards you, Crim.
Well, let's also not forget, every time we've seen these powers change hand, the magnitude of them diminished significantly. We're not able to do a fraction of what we were able to see these things do beforehand. So even if we took it,
That's also true.
But all we need is. Sorry, what?
Yeah, the main worry is just fixing those people.
You're
Perhaps.
able to willingly relinquish it. Do you think you could if you were to try?
Willingly, I don't think I've. No,
I'm
no, I
not-
did. People asked me to, and I wanted to help, so I tried. They thought I was holding out. They thought I was a coward, but I tried, and I couldn't. I don't know how.
Cashmere will let out a long, loud groan and will glare at Garrick. But you haven't helped them at all. You haven't done anything. You just made things worse. Don't you see that?
They were good for a little bit, but yeah, then it did get worse.
They encouraged me. It was great. Things were wonderful for weeks.
No, they weren't. They were paused. You did nothing.
Cash,
Yeah.
we saw it. He had plenty of people encouraging him. From his perspective, he was being encouraged. It was those people who were telling him what to do. He was... Oh, I read about this. It was like codependency, right? I read a book on that.
We had the chance to stop him weeks ago, and we chose not to.
We sure did. And now look what happened.
None of us could have known this, but in any case, I'm thinking. So, if you can't relinquish your powers willingly, every time we've seen it happen, it's been caused by change in persona, in character. my running theory.
well,
No, wait, let
Yeah, let me go finish.
My running theory, Garrick, is I think you need to gain some self-confidence, friend.
Or the opposite.
I,
Cash, you're not helping.
It worked once before, didn't it?
Cash, all he has known, as far as I can tell, ever since he got that power, was people pushing him around and telling him what to do, and he just listens. Do you really think you pushing him around and telling him what to do is going to be any different?
I don't know. Maybe it'll make him think for himself for once. I don't know.
It's not like I don't... Never mind.
No, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you want right now, Garrick?
He looks at you, Alex. Sounds very similar to a conversation you've had with him privately. It's not like I don't know how healing and medicine works. It's not that I've lived in Valandria. I know these people. I have confidence. I know what I can do. I know the service I provide before and after this thing happened. It's only that I don't know. The things they say, what they want, especially when they command it of me, it seems a lot more important than it used to. I've meditated on that fact in this cave, and I wish it would stop.
do you feel compelled to listen? Is it the power that you feel is talking to you?
Actually, that's a good point. Were you like that before you got this power?
And did it increase the more you used it?
Huh. I'm pretty sure I mean, it's hard to say. Everything changed when the Time Power Nation attacked. When this power came to me, I wish I could remember why, how. I think it's gotten worse. Yes.
Could be magic or it could be placebo. Either be understandable.
Reginald
Oh.
finally... Oh, go ahead.
I do have one hypothesis. I don't know if this is accurate or not. I don't know if I know you well enough to say this for sure. But I wonder if part of the reason why you're so eager to follow what other people do is as a way of dodging responsibility for your own actions. You knew that there were downsides, risks to this power, but by claiming that you did it because other people told you to, saves you the responsibility of having to admit what a risk you were taking with other people's lives. Do you think there's any truth to that?
There's like a shuddering breath. His muscles are quivering as you suggest this to him. You get resolved, not only because you may be correct, but for other reasons too. And you can tell from his reaction, it's having an impact on him. He probably thinks there's at least a kernel of truth to this. But in that lapse of silence, Reginald jumps in. I am sympathetic, in part. Shantae knows I've made my mistakes. I feel a lot less righteous and confident in what I could provide, the teachings I could give than I used to. But that doesn't change the absolute foolishness of what you did, Garrick. Regardless of whether people were encouraging you or not, regardless of any short-term gain, that doesn't restore the lives that have been lost, the ruin you've brought upon the town. It doesn't excuse you selfishly running away by yourself instead of two others to help just because someone at some point told you to or whatever. I agree with them. You need to come back to the safe part of town after we're done here and face judgment.
We all make mistakes. It's the point now is taking accountability for them. Soldier is a man.
I agree. I'm not trying to run from this. I'm still trying to do what is best. I don't know if there's a solution, so surviving seems like a stopgap measure. I'm willing to try... I forget your name, I'm sorry, Mr. Cheetah. Whatever you're suggesting. But first, I ask for your forgiveness.
I
Just
don't
me or-
think it's mine to give.
I am happy to reiterate anything. I just want to know. And even though his voice is steady and he's already a little wet, and he's actually moist skinned, he's a tilapia, he is crying a little bit. But you wouldn't be able to tell unless you had light. I've never intended to cause so much suffering. All I've wanted to do is heal. And I've done, the opposite. Yeah.
Quick, out of character. Namo has something come up. He's asking for an early break if possible.
Oh, okay.
That's in a Pounder chat.
Sorry, good call. Then, yeah, let's do breaksies.
Okay. We'll be back soon.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Unspecified
Give it.
duration. Bye-bye. Alright, welcome back. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
So, yeah, out of character, Garrick has asked for forgiveness, clearly in some emotional turmoil right now. You've all been talking, getting the details. Is there any questions, like out of character, things you think weren't explained, or we don't have to dive back into character, but like, hey, can you tell me this again? And I can just explain.
Didn't think so.
I can't think of anything in particular. The only one off the top of my head would be, was there any extra insight on, will giving this up fix anything on the damage done, or do they have to keep researching that? Because I was going to try an Arcana check on that one, if not.
He said it's not within his power. You were there for that. Yeah, I guess you could try and roll that check to see if the power changed hands, if that would allow it, you mean?
Okay, Crim will think that while using his special dragon sense intuition because of his absorb feature.
I will
That
go
won't
ahead
have
and
anything to do mechanically, just nat 20.
Oh.
I was going to say I'll give guidance. Apparently it's unnecessary.
Give guidance anyway, it'd be funny.
Yeah,
Roll a
this
D4.
very well be very high DC, so...
Alright, sure, why not?
What is guidance again? D4?
D4.
Alright, the final value is...
Don't forget the +5.
Hang on. These are numbers. 32.
Nice.
Christ.
Cashmere tilts his head. Alex is like, oh, he's thinking. This room. 32. Okay, let me find my section for this. One moment. Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves if you wish.
Crim pulls out a book. And it's a blank book. Looks like he's doing some notes. He's doing like a word cloud thing, which apparently seems to help him think. Even though if you actually look at the words, they are almost completely gibberish as far as you're concerned. In fact, you're not sure if some of those are letters, but it must be some thinking process that he used to do back when he was a dying bird.
I think if Turner looked at it, he'd be like, I've seen weirder notes.
Right. Okay. You think. You try and add this point to the graph you have so far. Does seem to fit that pattern, doesn't it? Yes. The powers, as you saw demonstrated in their original holders, were definitely different in and out of character when they changed hands, even though they are very much in the same vein. As to would this allow it to be able to be reversed? Maybe. If you're honest with yourself, probably doubtful, because that seems to be not a weakened or slightly altered version of this power, as the couple previously have been, but a sort of undoing or reversal clause. If the other ones didn't have it, would this? Probably not. You do recall something someone else said, though, that, oh yeah, when it changed hands, all the current effects were like undone or resolved, right? Would that happen here? 32. Again, a doubtful maybe. This seems to not be like a persistent environmental effect. It's like no, it has changed this person's biology. So maybe it would not be so readily halted. Any questions about that?
The other question, following up on that, is the reverse of that. Is, would relinquishing this power now do any harm? Would it change anything? Or, put another way, does Crim think there could be a way that he could reverse this if he thought about it a little more? He being the current holder of this power. Because if he granted it, surely he could find a way to ungrant it, is what Crim is thinking. If he's doubtful on the transfer of power not doing it, is this something that he can do?
Yeah. Does not seem very likely. And you're thinking about that, like, what magic in the world, what useful spells and scrolls would make you do something, but you can't take it back. You can't undo it, and it's not like a helpful thing. Like, that's odd. It's like this thing is malfunctioning or not as intended, or it's a bad thing. Just gives you weird vibes. It's like a quirk of Arcana.
Would Turner think that, at the very least on an individual level, knowing that if the answer is yes, it'll take many days for this to actually do it, does he think that these things could be dispelled individually through like the use of the spell?
Give me an Arcana check, please. Oh, well, you already succeeded on this earlier, didn't you? In Valandria 1.0. So I don't think you need to reroll it, but you could if you wanted.
Using that knowledge. I think I got a pretty good roll, so I'll just go with what you said, or what you think.
Okay. Yeah, you got enough to understand, like, fully what it did from just witnessing the effects and thinking about it.
And literally identifying it.
And identifying it, yeah. I'm sorry, what was your question again?
Can it be dispelled with a spell?
Right.
Magic spell.
You think not. This isn't... I hesitate to say magic, because in these fantasy games, magic is like everything 1000% that is not like mundane world as we know it, even if it can be categorized. But it's hard to say that this is like, oh, it's just magic. It's a magic effect. It's something different than that. So, no.
Okay, we're kind of in the dark here at this point.
Yeah.
Crim stops looking at his graph for a moment, and he points a claw at what seems to be a blank space. It's broken. There's something broken about it. But these powers, as far as we're aware, they always had to do with the will of the person. This magic is just magic. It was given to him. I don't see how it could be of an error of some kind. It's like any other one we've seen. So that means the only fault, it would have to be the person. When you were... Yes! That is the difference! And Crim kind of perks up.
How so?
The one difference that this person had with his magic compared to all the other times we have seen this magic is that he wasn't doing this fully of his own volition. With the Dark Druid, he had his own drive to make the shadows and everything his own place. With the person we're not really supposed to talk about, he wanted to do that out of revenge. With the person in the gravesite, he wanted to do it for some reason, but it was definitely of his own desire. This is the one time when he was coerced and driven through some codependency to do it through some other way. I think that caused a flaw in the magic. Maybe if you truly seek forgiveness and find your own resolve, your own way, you might find a way to fix it of your own volition. But to do that, we have to go back, and you have to be the one to make those steps. It's just a guess anyway, based on these numbers.
It's quite a good speech.
Maybe. I did feel that as I was choosing to use the power, but as I was encouraged as well by seeing the results, it almost felt like the power was growing the more I used it. And now, most of those people who are affected, they got the most potent dose, shall we say.
I hope you know, Garrick, that this does not land squarely on your shoulders. I can see the guilt that miasma in your face. I know it quite well. I've ordered those around me to do terrible things, and even if I did not hold a torch or a bow, I am accountable for their actions, just as those who whispered in your ear are for yours. But forgiveness, as they've said, it's not for me. It's for them, those who are suffering right now. And I hope someday, once we've done all we can to make this right, you can forgive yourself. It's my request. But who deserves what is not important right now. It's just the crazy situation you land yourself in, how you react to it.
Forgiving myself later. Yes, that comes later. Fixing things, that comes later, even in the very near future. But right now, please. You sound like you've been to Valandria lately. You've seen it. You understand from his perspective, from my perspective. What do you think? How much might you forgive me? And he looks earnestly to each and every one of you. I would like an answer from each of you, whether you add something to it in character or not, because he's not going to comply or do anything else until he gets an answer from each of you. What is your answer? Take your time. And again, I'm happy to clarify any details of this whole phenomenon.
Well, it's not like you would have known. In fact, we didn't know, and that's why we thought it would have been fine. We would have come back and see how things were. We didn't expect it to accelerate like this either. So how could we possibly blame you if we had made the same call? I forgive you, especially since you're just trying to help and you were just afraid. If there's anyone I'd like to give a firm talking to, it's everyone who kept pushing you around.
Okay.
I said before, said it again, I don't think forgiveness is entirely mine to give in this circumstance. That being said, I think you have made some poor decisions. I think you have perhaps started to see that for yourself, which I suppose if you do seek forgiveness, that is a good step to take. I understand, I think, on some level, why you did what you did. Well, I don't know that it's necessarily my right to forgive you. I wouldn't say that I necessarily... I wouldn't say that I have a grudge or ill will towards you either. But I do think that it is important that you take the right lessons away from this, just for your own sake.
Okay.
I'd say my feelings very much mirror much what they said. If anything, I'm more angry with myself for not making you think through using your gift, your burden, whatever that power is. I don't have any anger towards you.
Okay.
And I don't think I have anything to forgive either.
I think when I first stepped into this town and I saw what went wrong, even seeing all that suffering, I'd forgiven you then, Garrick. You are a soldier. You know that there are times where you make the best decision you can, the information you have. And that decision gets the people you care about, the people in your charge, killed, or worse. That's not a character flaw, that's just a fact of life. But as I said, we must take accountability for it. Running here, I didn't quite forgive that. But I know what it's like to make poor decisions from stress, from self-loathing, from anger. And in your heart, looking at you, I still see a good man who wants to make this right. I forgive you, Garrick.
Oh. Noted.
And Cashmere, standing there with his arms crossed, with a big frown on his face. He takes a lot longer than everybody else to answer. But when he does, he breathes in and just asks, you plan on helping as much as you can, right? You want to?
Doesn't look like it, but this is my best attempt at helping right now, and I'm going to continue helping however I can.
He leans in a little bit. Can you help?
We'll see. I hope.
He motions with his hand, like, go on.
Oh, are you doing the inspirational thing? I've read books about this one.
I will help? Yeah?
That's right. You will help. Now you better show that.
So
That's
back
all.
to the question. That's a no then. Right. He's asking about the forgiveness thing.
Turn will kind of look to Cash and say, conditional?
Conditional. I'll forgive you when we're done.
He really is trying to see if you're telling the truth. Are you? Do you think, does Cashmere think that he will forgive this guy if things were fixed?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's 2.5 forgivenesses and 2 no forgiveness but no ill will.
Basically neutral.
Well, that type of party.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my case, it's just a position of I'm not the person he's wronged. It's not my right to give him forgiveness.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a no forgiveness or neutral. That's just you're asking the wrong person. Like you haven't wronged me. There's nothing for me to forgive. The only person who gave a sense of not forgiveness of any kind, in my opinion, would be Cash, whose answer was more, "I'll forgive you once we're done with this," because then you would have proved that you did give it your best effort. You're not like chickening out. So I don't even know if our tilapia buddy is true to how if he's told the truth, then Cash's forgiveness is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Noted. One more thing, Namo. Independent of your theory and intent of what to do, with the 32, I should have said this thing from my notes as well. When you're thinking about, can this magic be reversed? You would also think that changing hands might be what diminishes it, or alters it, but maybe it's also just what person is it in, their personality or species or some other factor you've yet to uncover. That's all.
Not quite relevant to this, but yeah, I got it. It could be, depending on the personality of the person who has it, it could contribute to finding someone capable of reversing it, but otherwise, yeah. I don't think Crim would have anything extra to say on that just yet.
Cool. Alright, Garrick, that is, breathes out. I'm surprised and appreciative and most respectful. I know you aren't all from Valandria, but even the level-headed and sympathetic of the people there, if 5 of them were to come in here with Reginald, well, I think it'd be a different atmosphere. So thank you.
Appreciate it, man. By the way, Reginald, I take that to no. Correct.
So, wish to hear my opinion?
No, we're good.
You. I do forgive you, actually.
Oh, that's most positive of all.
I believe you're being truthful, and I believe you never meant any ill will, and this strange habit of obedience, this curse upon my temple and village. It's not your doing. I think this is a product, not as much as from the power as from everyone else's attitude towards the miracles they saw. And I think that is something that needs to be fixed. But my reactions to that opinion are what had me jailed and pending trial, so, as I said, I am not without error, and I must do my own thinking.
Well, I really thought you were going to even the odds. Alright.
I only wish we had the solution to definitely reversing it, but let's try this epiphany you've had, Crim, and the rest of you, shall we? Or, first, is it alright if you pray with me? I just wish perhaps Chantia's light in this cave will inspire Garrick, change this phenomenon to be more pliable. You understand?
I think I understand. Plus,
Sure.
at this point, some divine intervention would be nice.
I have no objections. Should be fun to see.
Yes, that you, lift up his hands, or lift up your own hands as he looks upward. Do you?
Crim certainly tries. He kind of holds up, finds a nearby rock to rest his chest on. Okay, I think this'll do it.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, as the sun rises, the rains bless the soil, so too does Chantia bless our labor. Tend to the fields, nourish the hungry, cherish the land. For in giving, we're given plenty. And this blessing that we thought had come from on high to give to us so much safety and feeling of health. We wish that you give us the understanding and the levity within your caress to perhaps reverse what is not so much as a blessing as we thought, at least in this moment. So be it, if Chantia wills. There
Good
is
man.
no... What?
I was saying, good man. I thought I was going to get healed.
Yeah, there's no bodily sensations you experience, no brightening of light. It's the same old dank cave.
Okay.
Garrick just shakes his head as if to say, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I suspected from that figure out magic. I guess this confirms it.
Versus.
Well, in any case, we can rest up here for another few minutes to get our strength back. And shall we head back into town?
Fine by me.
After a quick rest.
If we can't reverse this, at least we can save who we can. If to evacuate the town, so be it.
Okay, we all get the benefits of a short rest.
Alright,
Alright.
let me give you all your temp HP again. You all will take 10 temp HP.
Yay! That's additional too.
Yep. I've got another good fight left in me.
I'm assuming this doesn't stack with the temp HP we already have.
Correct.
No.
It'll replace it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but if you're well, I think Crim already used his, so he's got it again.
I'll go ahead and cook us up a little something. So if you spend any hit dice, you're gain an extra 1d8 HP.
Yes.
I had converted 3 of my sorcery points back into a 2nd level spell, and I'll use my Sorceress Restoration ability to regain 2 sorcery points.
I know this is a little late, but our plan, are we simply heading back to the church? Or...
I can't think of anywhere else to go, really, especially after we're rested up a bit.
Well, need to protect him.
Yeah, I'll help that. He can be on my back for that one.
Alex, may I borrow the staff?
You already have it.
Oh. Okay, I didn't realize it was in my inventory now. Okay. What's it called?
The Swamp Silk Scepter.
We should head back while the ball's...
Go ahead.
We should head back while it's still raining. Those Greeks will probably be a bit more reserved.
Yeah, the rain is lessening by the moment.
I think we'll definitely take a cautious approach as we get out of this place.
Did Crim just ferry us over?
He is, I mean, he can certainly do it for a little bit, but it'll take a few trips. Because he's no longer big and he doesn't want to waste too much of that.
Turner can probably get himself out of there.
But yeah, he can. He's got mythic build for just that reason. I think it's hilarious how much Crim actually is a farrier at this point for his utility. It's actually really nice.
God, I miss having wing boots on 3 characters back in the day. That was fun. Alright, so we
roll the dice.
In the early part of the rest, Garrett comments, "You know, what you said made me feel better because it was so different than expectations I had. The nightmares between my meditations in here when I had the time. It almost felt like the burden was lifted somewhat, as if shared. Foolish, I know, but it's like the power itself within me was loosening."
Well, you are amongst kindred spirits. It's supposed to make sense.
Anyway.
Just be careful about that. It actually can get a little loose accidentally from what we've seen. But just in case, hang on to that for until we get back. just in case.
Looks kind of curious, and so does Reginald, of what you're implying there. But what you finish with sort of tells them, okay, maybe now's not the type of place. And any other mechanical stuff?
Thanks to the good meal, Crim is full health. He's a bit low on hit die though.
I could send an animal messenger back to the church to tell them we're coming back, and yes, I think I should.
I don't think it'll hurt if you're just doing like a little ritual casting of it.
Should we tell me up Garrick?
Give them a give a word that also says like be nice.
Well, are they going to be like okay? Are they even going to be able to get to? Because we've noticed before the last time we sent in a messenger, the swarm just kind of killed it.
Yeah. I'll just shout it outside the door. All right. We'll just do it.
I'd say don't do that. We're just going to be saying it to his
right? Don't you have sending prepared?
I do, but I mean, I got 1 second level, 1 third level for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
SMH. Okay. I'll delete that note then. Okay. About 3/4 through the... Well, I'll say you can get the short rest. As you are wrapping up, maybe extinguishing the fire, Garrick's getting his stuff up, you're forming up, you're looking if the crocs are still there. You hear motion in the water. And then as your heads turn, a creature pops out and steps into the light.
Oh, not again!
More?
They look like an uplifted river otter. Shirtless, which is not weird because you live in Bos, and also they just swam through a river. Got like a dagger on their side, middle-aged, a lot of like crow's feet at the eyes and smile lines around the muzzle. Oh, he's not smiling right now. It rings a bell in all your minds sooner or later. This is the otter that kind of held the door open for you with his tail when you first came to Valandria and entered the church. And he was kind of there during that scuffle, although didn't say too much. Wasn't really involved. And he sees what he's looking for in his eyes alighting on Garrick. He stands there, seems a bit taken aback and surprised by what he's found in this cave, just crosses his arms, saying nothing. He looks like this.
Oh.
And in hashtag images will be a better image.
Let's see how important he is if he was a commission.
Hey!
He's got a old-looking earring in one ear and a ring of the same style on one finger.
Yeah, nice.
Hello. Wow, you found us pretty well.
Who do we have the pleasure?
I believe we're acquainted, but I don't think we got a name.
Hello. I didn't expect so many of you here. I hope I'm not interrupting anything big,
Well,
important.
we're just on our way out.
Nothing at all, no.
You were with Shantae, correct?
Yeah. I'm Devron. Yes, I recognize you all. You were in the church 4 or 5 days into the insanity that came across all of us in Valandria. Not that I lived there, and I'm just spending some time there when this happened.
I'm just lucky.
Fuel, 1 second.
Yeah, you're cutting out again. Not quite, not quite.
I've returned.
He's
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yay!
What were you saying?
Just we're heading back to the church trying to help.
Cutting out again.
Caught what you said there, Beagle, but yeah, it's still kind of cutting out a bit.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
You're...
I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going, but I assume you can hear me and we'll correct that. You're heading back to the church. With our friend Garrick? What's your plan? I'm sure I'm invested in this as you all are. I think, I hope, maybe.
Well, the plan is... Well, it's not much of a plan so much as it's a hope, but Garrick found a new resolve after thinking here and having a talk with us, and he wants to at least give a try to set things right. We're not sure if it will work, but it's our best shot at trying, and well, we're kind of just here to protect him in case anyone tries to push him around again.
While my heart be warmed by expression of optimism, it won't work. It just won't work. I need what he has. I need his power. And I ask for your cooperation in taking it. I can probably reverse what was done in the town. He can't, or he would have. What do you have?
Why do you believe that you are capable of such a thing? What knowledge do you have about these abilities?
He's coy. I'm hunting. He can't handle them. That's why this.
No, he's a tilapia.
That's why these calamities, this small calamity that is it's because he can't handle it. It's nothing against you, Garrick. You are very kind.
Slow
You
down.
try.
Slow down. Cashmere will step in front of Garrick and will put his hand on his full little spear. How about you explain what you're doing here in more detail?
I think I'm gonna get an intimidation check, please.
Oh boy. What do I have for that? +1. Oh boy. Let's see how this goes. Whatever. We'll keep that.
Well, you've made your attitude clear. Fair enough. Explain. I'd really rather not.
Huh? Are
Results would surely be enough. Right? Isn't that what we all want? That's why you're here, I'm sure. You seem like kind people.
Results after the fact
need
would
more
maybe be enough, but barging in here, making demands, not offering any explanations.
also, how did you find us?
That too.
Good result.
It's his
Thank you.
godlike powers from Devron.
Turner just
Yeah.
gives Wade like the most like unamused look.
It's my power. Right place, right time. Sure. I'm in my element, you know. What did you say, Doc, initially?
Coming here, making demands,
Right.
not offering any explanations.
I will... Right, I see how that would look. Look, I have experience with what he's going through. I'm sure a lot of people are at this point in time. I mean, why do you think... What's your story? Why are you all here together at this particular time in this place where Garrick is?
We were trapped here by a bunch of Gricks and then a bunch of large crocodiles. But you... Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, we were looking for him, admittedly. It's kind of lucky that we were able to find him after trying to track him down.
But you, with the rest of those in Shantae, you've been directing Garrick from the start, haven't you? At least at the start of this healing process.
I don't think he was.
No, I've been... Well, let's... And Garrick, forces him to stay on topic. No, he's been the one who keeps saying I should give him the power. Which was not what people who were guiding me wanted, so I didn't. And I, frankly, didn't have the safest vibes from you, my friend Otter.
Actually,
You know something about what's going on.
Yeah.
Not just here. You know what's happening. Tell us, please.
And in exchange, as part of payment, since admittedly we have been asking a lot of questions, we could at least disclose that we're a little familiar with things like this, just in manifesting in different ways. So we have a bit of interest in it because of that, since it seems to just follow us around at this point, really.
Awful. So I was right. You're looking for him, not because you're from Valandria, you're not, because you are aware of these calamities, and maybe we're not so different.
Oh. Do you have one as well, then? You know, hanging on to it, not using it because it might make you crazy. That's been our guess, at least.
grits his teeth that I'm not causing any... Let me rephrase that. Someone has to... Let me rephrase that. I'm just a man with the most common name in the world. And lately, I've not been doing anything that would lead to this. I want to repair these things that he is doing unwittingly. So if I could have the power, I think I could do that.
And what makes you think you could do that, and not us?
Well, I mean, we were already kind of ruled out whether or not we'd be able to do that, admittedly.
Well, at the very least, we have a track record.
Kind of know. I like to think I kind of know how they work. So, I'm experienced. That's flimsy.
Yeah.
Well,
So are we.
let's try and make it a little less. Let's see. Hey, Reginald. Remember that spell I cast during our first encounter at the church?
Well,
Yes,
he seemed...
do.
Hey, you're a holy man. Could you cast it yourself ritually?
No, no, it's not within something Chantea would demand of someone, and I am used to those around me speaking truth already.
Damn.
We're all friends in Valandria.
We do this the hard way then.
I mean, I'm not really the best with social cues and things like that, since I spent most of my time holed up in a room. But, you know, aside from that, even I can kind of tell that he seems different, don't you think? It's obvious that he's got something he can't say yet, maybe because mutually we haven't earned each other's trust, but I know. How about this? Are you able to just come with us very briefly while we go back? He can try with what we have. We can protect him, maybe from a distance, and if it doesn't work, then we can talk again.
Yeah, I'll try it our ways, then tried yours.
I'd like you, Crim, to make an insight check, please.
Oh, good. I'm bad at those.
On rolls that were bad at this session.
All right. Well, I mean, I have a resolve, so I can at least try to get something above, or try to get something above 15, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna resolve that. Okay, that's good. Actually, precisely 15.
You can tell he's fighting to interrupt you with what he knows he's going to say, but interestingly, he just seems so gosh darn polite that he refuses to interrupt you. But when you finally finish speaking, that's when he allows this explosion. No! I will not go with you. I can't. You shouldn't... And sir, Mr. Tan Rabbit, I'm so sorry that I do not have your name in my mind. I understand... Cashmere, thank you. I understand your hostility, and I'm sure you believe you have perhaps great experience in this. But it is best left to me. Please, just...
You need to give us something more to work with than
Do I get the impression he has some sort of ulterior motive for wanting to do this? I don't know, like maybe trying to go around collecting these powers to become a demigod or something, or just maybe just wants to show off or something.
The evil Otter Devron.
And as a brief clarification to that, Doc, if he happens to actually be a demigod of some kind, that he knows to use it responsibly and not just doing it to selfishly regain his power, I believe that is also something to consider.
Okay, roll insight for those.
Do not have proficiency in this, but at least it's working off of a good stat. We're going to resolve that. Worse? 13.
13.
All right.
Okay.
Wade give like a little like side nudge of his head to like gestures towards some sort of like tick or tell on him. Add a D8.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Wow, alright. Non-combat. Maybe it'll help.
Is it a 1?
14.
Wow, you got a 1. Good work. But
You did your best.
and as a reminder,
Sorry, go on.
insight is, not mind reading or what is this guy's alternative motive. More, what's his state of mind? Could he have one? But even so, 14, it's hard to gather that. That's a failure. He has this sort of darkness about his brow, sort of like clouding him, and he's standing at the edge of the light, although mechanically that is not preventing you from getting a better roll. He's just like half turned away. He's so guarded.
Yeah.
I suppose even better question. Suppose for the sake of argument we wanted to give you his powers. How would we? How would you?
Not by bloodshed, if that's what you're thinking.
No,
No.
I think he's actually asking, how would you fix it?
I would take it into myself and attempt to mend what was broken.
And you can just do that without willingness, prompt, or any sort of change from the subject?
As some funny people say, I will certainly try.
Listen,
It-
I'm gonna have Cashmere step forward a bit as well. Like, how tall is he, by the way?
He's pretty average for a Rotor. Yeah, a little short. Maybe he's 4'8".
Okay, that means Cashmere can look down at him. Listen, unless you give us a perfectly good reason why we should let you have his power, which he doesn't even want to give you, by the way, we're not budging.
Well,
Can I do like a history check on, like, so obviously if the name Devron has a lot of significance in this world, like, is this particular person someone of note, or is there like, is it like a taboo to give an actual honor that name these days, or?
yeah, you can absolutely roll that.
Imagine just like going in community. Oh hey, it's Jesus.
Yeah.
17 on the die, which this is going to become 24.
Devon's the most common name in the world.
So it's like saying the name of someone like Noah or John.
It's a very convenient common name.
Yeah, it's like a
And,
biblical name.
And like, would he have like know of any particular noteworthy ones of modern time with that role as well?
Every Devron is named with the hope that by their parents that this child will do many of the great things that the Devron of hundreds of years ago did. Found this wonderful inclusive society and this, co-found this lovely learning university and help with this conflict and yada yada. But you have lived such blessed lives. There's not really any other particularly noteworthy Devrons that you can get with that result in your mind.
Okay.
No, do you have anything, Will?
Turo just kind of looked to him and then, I guess, just try to like I've already tried insight checks and I'm not good at those, so
I can
Let's
try
keep
to
that
snap while you.
he'll just keep that in mind for now.
I can't give you. This is uncomfortable, isn't it? Wherefore have I ended up in this silly situation?
Are you
He
able
has
to
to
give
go
a
to the water.
reason why you can't give a reason?
Oh, he just jumped in the water?
He half steps into it so he can make a quick getaway. He seems uncomfortable with you approaching him.
Cash, can you
I-
not?
Cashmere takes a step back.
You have to understand. What are you? Sorry, that is the rudest thing to say. What are you?
Oh, it's okay. I understand. You may call me Crim.
All right, Crim. I think that the more rapid understanding of these koi and the gifts they have, curses they have, spreads, then the more calamities we will have to deal with. So if I were to divulge everything I've learned, even if I don't know why he's become so corrupted and this power so... Well, you saw Valandria. Then that's not a great thing to tell in the presence of all of you, is it?
I understand that. But if that's the case, if we were already exposed to those kinds of powers, 1, 2, 3, about 3 times, 4 if we include him, and also one of them seemed to deliberately give them to us without ever talking to us directly. That one was kind of weird now that I think about it. Do you think we'd have some credence of wanting to, keep that a bit of a secret? We only really gave it away to people who already have it going on, and you clearly knew as well. So we've been careful about it. We recognize how dangerous this sort of thing is.
You possess those that you've encountered? His eyes are very interested.
I'm sorry, I don't think I was supposed to say that part.
The cat's out of the bag now. We've cleared 2 of these calamities ourselves in the last couple of months, and well, the powers were just floating there, drifting towards us, and well, we didn't want it to just go and find some other dangerous hands to land themselves in, so we currently have a couple of them.
He holds out both his hands, empty. He's got some calloused beams, some webbed paws, no weapons. These hands are not dangerous, my friend. Please. All of you should relinquish what you have, for the burden it is upon you is great. And right now you seem so kind and thoughtful. Release this burden unto me.
Cashmere will hold up a hand and his expression will soften a bit. We're very invested at this point. 3 of us have these powers. I died at one point and came back.
Because of the rewind, we don't have those spells yet.
Yeah, that. This isn't going to just be something we give over. We want to help. And clearly, so do you. So we should come to some sort of agreement, don't you think?
Related to that... Oh, go.
And respectfully, put yourselves in our position. After all the things that we have seen these things cause, and then someone just approaches us we have only met once, saying that I can take all of these off of your hands, and it will be for the good. What reason do we have to trust you? To just give you 4 of these?
Yeah, kind of related to that. It sounds like you've run into this before. How's your track record with convincing people with the way you've been doing it? I admit a lot of the others are kind of cautious. I probably would have fallen for it even if you had ill will about it, to be honest. So I'm glad I have more cautious people around me, but I'll stop talking now.
Could you give me a persuasion check, Turner?
Can it be a logic persuasion check? Okay.
I don't think it was particularly...
That's fair.
logical. He said.
Well, I still got a good roll, 16.
It's kind of logical.
Okay.
I had to try.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say, what you said was illogical, huh? But...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. He looks... He's nodding and like shaking his head like, I can't believe I'm nodding to that. He's beginning to look a little overwhelmed. I can't believe you said 4.
Well, only 4 including him.
It's too much. I can't deal with this right now. Maybe you are better carriers for now. Okay. I'll check in on this later. I'm going to leave.
Wait,
oh,
we should discuss this further, and not necessarily here and now, but I think this is a conversation that we need to have at some point.
I agree. Turner's gonna try to remember back. Because Huss is not here. Where were we destined to after Valandria?
I don't remember him saying, actually.
Yeah.
Once we've resolved this, I could send a message.
well, I mean, he found us once already. I get the feeling he'll be able to find us again.
I have to... He points at your focus charter that I think is currently dangling from your neck.
Yeah, you have it.
Be careful with your curses, or else this world will break like that. Might. And then he slips into the water and is gone.
Oh.
Colorful character.
I probably should have asked if he was a dragon.
The man could have 10 powers and we wouldn't know.
This whole
So,
argument was a moot point anyway. Garrett doesn't even know how to relinquish his power, even if he wanted to.
Derek and Reginald are just like not talking at all in that conversation, clearly sensing their way in over their head with understanding.
Well, he said he'll see us later, and if he wants to take in those powers, I'm pretty sure he won't mind if one of us took it for a little while and try it ourselves later, but that only assumes this doesn't work. So, aside from that, how about we head back and give it a good old try?
Yeah, the old college try, as they say. I'm up
I
for
was
it.
hoping you wouldn't say that.
Yeah, it's hard to get a read on him. But if you want to take them by force from Garrick, either he would have done it plenty times before. Either he can't or he doesn't want to. And anyway,
I mean, he seemed so nice. I'd struggle with that too.
that's what I don't like.
Well, why don't we, as you said, give it a try and let's get out of this cave. Need to spread my wings.
Come on. Let's go. And when Turner mentions that, Crim also tries to spread his wings and he nicks the side of the cave. Like, oh, okay, outside it is.
One other thing that would notice during a short rest. One moment.
Ooh. Do we level up?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
please add your new spells, your new features, add your new HP.
But I get extra attack next level.
Are you like a multi-class or do you get at level 6?
Yeah, Valbirds get level 6.
Cool.
Actually, after checking my session 0 notes, never mind. Back to the game.
Okay.
You retrace your steps and head back into town?
First finding Huston,
Yes.
but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rejoin you. Be happy you found Garrick. Supportive. We gather that Garrick is seeming not in a good place, and he just unconditionally, talks about, oh, we'll fix this. These guys have fixed everything we've come across. We're doing more than just sales, We're selling goodwill or something like that. And Garrick seems a little cheered up.
Well,
I agree. Agree with my own performance there. Yeah, wow.
By matter of intention, that Devron character isn't too different from us, just at first glance.
well, on the bright side, if we ever talk about him openly, nobody will know who we're talking about. Apparently so many people are named that.
Yeah, and everyone seems to be trying to live up to the legend himself. Either he'll be Either he's that prophesized child, or he's a dime a dozen.
And we're both trying to take these powers to spare others the burden.
Are we? I thought we were just taking it so no one else uses it that's bad.
Well, potato,
That's
tomato.
basically
Same
what
result.
White said.
You arrive back in Valandria, and like a global taunt or a high radius taunt spell, Garrick's visage to anyone, their eyes flash red and they start complaining and like going double speed towards you. But you're able to avoid them. You know how they move and fight now.
Well, actually, wouldn't this be a good opportunity to give it a shot? A test drive? A test run?
One test drive.
What would you have me do? He says, like standing in the car and rattling along as Huston leads you in like a circle around the perimeter of town.
Well, it's kind of just an instinct thing. Now that you are more at peace of mind, just try again. Think about that desire to fix things, the desire to earn their forgiveness.
I'm gonna try telling him sort of how I use my own powers. The time of day manipulation. Just kind of bring up like the thought processes that I need to use in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
See if it helps him at all by comparison.
Okay. And for reference, for you, it's very different than casting a primal spell.
figured.
It's like mentally just reaching into a purse or easily accessible bag or pocket or something, just producing it. Boom, there it is. It's kind of like just innate and accessible, an effect you can pull into being.
But I figured there's some sort of, I think about such and such, and I don't know, maybe there are any like gestures you do, because like in his case, I think he has to touch. I don't know if he has to touch the person to create the effect or something like that.
Okay. As Huston starts pulling him close to one of the slower moving, very elderly stopped. And he prepares himself, looking at you, Crim, for guidance. I feel better knowing that forgiveness exists, and that those with a more impartial perspective who have seen and heard my side, as well as the horrible affliction that's fallen on this town because of me, that they can still forgive and understand. With that, I try to undo what I did. Takes a deep breath, and as he goes by, he closes his eyes and lets his thin hand like brush across that person's forehead who was complaining about, thinks his finger is dislocated. It hurts so much. I think my finger's gotta be dislocated. That sort of thing. But the man keeps stumbling and complaining of his finger.
Damn. If it's any consolation, I think your speech for your powers was better than mine. But, damn it. Alright. If we can't save them, at least we can evacuate the town. We know they're attracted to you, Garrick. Use that to lead them away.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What sort of thought process do you have when creating the stop effect? How do you get that to work?
Reginald's cursing loudly, by the way. Seems to be despairing at this outcome. Steeling himself against those cries, Garrick says... It's sort of like how you described, I think. I sort of think about what I put on them, and I think about taking it back. Simple as that.
What about a simple... Surely with your time as a medic, you have some idea of how the body works, right? What about trying to picture the processes you halted going back into motion again?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean instead of thinking directly to undo it, you think of putting on the effect of returning, just putting things back in their place, but not actually reversing, just doing what you usually do, just in the opposite direction. Kind of putting another effect on the effect.
Someone... I'll try, of course. Maybe that one, Huston? And he tells you a short story as he's going there about, this one time, back during that occupation, glances at Wade. This electric eel woman, she was very experienced in medicine, and there was someone whose heart had recently stopped. She had this crazy idea to apply an electrical current across the upper torso, right to left, and suddenly the heart started beating again, and the processes started again. Maybe it needs to be like that. Still can't believe that worked.
Fascinating. Oh, that's worth a shot.
Maybe.
He keeps that in mind, gives himself a little short amp-up speech, tries again with someone else who seems to have some sort of similar affliction to that squirrel who you first met in Valandria, who had the bend bone totalis. But alas, it does not have any immediate effect, and Garrick confirms he doesn't think it worked innately. And I will say, out of character, further variations of this are not going to resolve anything.
Can be.
Then maybe, Garrick, you alluded, Crim, to it changing hands, different effects as it moved. I have one suggestion. Give it to me. There's no one here who wants to undo what was done, who is a vehicle for growth, than me.
Cashmere laughs out loud. No, that's not going to happen.
Tail
Well-
fly up indignantly.
Admittedly, one of the side effects of this is amplifying feelings, and you have a lot of those. Might solve one problem, but then, might be hard to get that unstuck.
That sounds like a baseless hypothesis. This man said he
we see
never
it
felt.
happen a lot.
This man said he never felt hyper aware of others' desires or obedient or whatever it is until this power came into him. You weren't an obedient, feelingless person before that, were you, Garrick? Garrick agrees. You
And
really only have piecemeal understanding of what's going on. And to suggest that you should have it, you're probably going to leave town after this. You're but travelers, you're not invested in this. No, well, you are. That was too far.
and
Oh,
you
yes,
said
Alex?
the species of the person who has the power could potentially influence how it works, right?
Well, it's not really potentially, as in we haven't ruled it out.
We don't have a large amount of case studies for each individual one yet.
That my kind's natural regenerative abilities might be relevant, but I don't know that we want to try that.
Well, don't give it a Cashmere. Well, I have nothing good to say.
The irony of this is that we can't trust anyone who asks for the power.
That's a
Edward
fair
rolls his
point.
eyes. I don't even want it anyways.
But
You
I
can't
think
give
now
it to someone who wants the power. Do explain.
Well, it's about the whole amplifying thing. We're kind of only taking it out of obligation. Admittedly, if I had a power like that and we had reason to believe that strange otter was someone who would rightfully have it, so to speak, I'd probably give mine up. The whole reason we have this is for safekeeping. If we have the proper safekeeper, maybe. I don't know why he's so secretive about that.
for now, I say, damn the power. Let's save who we know can still be saved.
And how?
Original.
We don't know how to do that is the problem without the power. Even...
I'm talking about those in the church.
We will have to find a way to get them out.
Yeah.
We could probably do a distraction like we had discussed.
They go to Garrick like moths to a flame. Put Garrick on you, Crim. Fly out, lead them like fish on a bobber, and we evacuate the town. Reginald, what's the nearest city?
Proper city would be Mamelon.
town.
It's, you know.
Or town, somewhere.
Settlements
Civilized.
for the refugees to go while we figure out this problem.
Oh, sure. You could try, let's see, to the west. That's a little too far. You might try, Unted. It's northeast of here, still along the river. Not too far. Half a day.
Yeah. Alright. I say we do that, and then we either help whom we can maybe help, or put them out of their misery once we get back.
Well,
If we're just going to execute, then we might as well just give them the power up.
Garrick, how do you feel about your power now?
He shrugs. Name?
Well,
We tried one plan. Should we try the next? The one we had discussed before? We can at least go down the list.
Is that
With the
evacuation
Baldur.
or giving the power up?
Giving the power to someone else to see if that changes anything, because at this point we already know that him giving it up results in, like, it might fix things. We don't know for sure. Doubt it, admittedly.
But leading to no.
We also need to know, and also if that fails, we can giving it to Devron is still an option as a maybe. And we don't really want this power anyway, considering the destruction it causes. So maybe giving it to him with his thing might help work out anyway. So like just going down that list seems like the best sequence at this point.
Doesn't
He didn't
keep
seem
it
to
up, though.
He didn't seem to object to the idea of the power being given to us as long as it eventually went to him. So I don't think it's dangerous to not give it directly to him.
You want to try evacuation stuff first, or do power stuff first?
I want to have Cashmere like step in here and say, "Well, Garrick, it's your choice. If you want to earn our forgiveness, after all, or at least mine, you can't just sit there and let somebody else decide for you."
I have exhausted what I can productively do. I'll be happy to act as bait, even though I'm a fish, and lead them out. But I'm also happy to give it up if you think that can be done, so you can try.
Well, before you give it up, would they be attracted to you in particular for your power, or do they not seem to care? They didn't seem to care, but you would know better than me.
I think they hate my guts.
No, I meant the
Stopped.
yeah, the stopped.
That's what I meant too.
Oh, I mean, it depends on whether or not they go for you or not.
Seemed
Well, if
attracted to
it's a personal thing or a power thing, that's what I meant. Like, are they attracted to the power, or would they just want to go after you for?
Well, if he gives
That
up,
I cannot tell you. I don't know.
if he gives it
Well,
to
if you
one of
don't-
if he gives it to one of us, we'll at least have both the person and the power. So we'll have
That's
the bait
true.
regardless.
Let's at least try.
Hold on. We get somewhere safe for a second. I need a few minutes.
What?
Alright. For ritual? Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
And pulls over out of town. You have to go a little bit more because like a couple people are following you out of town, but you lose them in the trees. Reginald's like fuming the whole time.
Okay. We are discussing the possibility of Garrick giving up his power to one of us. I am going to ritual cast Augury.
Called it. Mentally.
Oh, I love augury.
So I'm going to grab some like sticks that I bought a while back, kind of rub them together and kind of like trace this intricate like circle in the dirt, and do this incantation, and then I'm gonna toss the sticks into the circle, see what comes up.
Okay. And the specific course of action you plan to take is what exactly?
Taking Garrick's power into one of us.
And then to try to undo it, I suppose.
Yeah.
In your mind, is
But I guess-
Reginald included in us?
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex. It's Wheel and Woe. Sorry, that's all I'm doing.
Okay. You toss the sticks, and guided by something beyond you all, the sticks twist and rotate amongst each other before landing a strange pattern. All the sticks are touching, most of them intersecting towards the center, but then they sort of slip and roll and fall apart, and now none of them are touching after another second. Good and bad. Wheel and woe.
Called it.
I will be just generous though, because I know that's like the stupidest thing to get every time. I'll go, oh, good and bad, because everything's good and bad in some perspective, right?
Well, no result is also a possibility.
The woe slightly outweighs the wheel, for whatever that's worth.
Mixed results.
Mixed results just from trying?
Well, I'm going to assume it actually does something.
Later, maybe tomorrow, we can do the same thing for giving it to Dev and see, and we'll count the sticks then. That's a good idea.
I guess it could be dependent on who in particular is receiving the power.
We only have two options now, of those of us who don't already have one.
We don't know that it's not possible for one person to have multiple, but that's kind of why I don't want to give all of them to Devron. I think it's safer to spread these around so that any one person has as few as possible.
And it seems more sporting.
When can you cast a spell again, Alex?
I can, but it starts getting inconsistent.
Well, when can you cast it reliably again?
Not till tomorrow, at least.
Okay, then my suggested course of action here. Why don't we go with Wade's plan? Evacuate those who we can.
Oh, you cut out, Will.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, then why don't we go with Wade's plan for now? Evacuate who we can. This will take time, and well, we know at the very least those here, the stopped as we are calling them now, they won't change at all if we have to wait a day. But we can at least get these out, and then tomorrow narrow down the pool.
I would like to make one more case. So hastily dismissed before. You're worried about these powers, whatever they are, stacking upon the same person. You're worried about giving them to a stranger. And yet you've so quickly dismissed them being the person who lives here, cares about this, who was skeptical of this power from the get-go, and whose only desire is to reverse what was done. I have the blessing and faith of Chantia enough to guide me. Why are you so hesitant?
Oh.
Does make a good point, to be honest.
You did try to beat us up, but other than that...
And why did I do that?
Well, you're also not the only one who thought that you had the blessing and guidance of your deity.
It's important to keep in mind that if you do this, they will work differently for you than they do for Garrick.
I'm counting on it.
Again, it's mainly the attacking out of prompt that got me. If you'd had powers like that during our fight in the church, who knows how many more could have gotten hurt?
I could say the same to you. I wonder how much blood you have on your hands. I've never slain a person. I've only fought when I truly believed the teachings of Chauntea were threatened. I was not going to kill you if it came to that. My goodness, my powers are to heal and to smite those who oppose me, not to be a murderer of some kind. I know I sound like a religious zealot. I know I'm a rooster. I cannot control this instinct I have, this indignation I feel. But surely you see the logic of giving it to me over you.
I've never killed either, actually. I'm sure some of us haven't. Most of us haven't. Doesn't really make you special, now does it?
I see what he means, though.
Well, that is good to hear, Cashmere, he says politely.
Cashmere rolls his eyes.
He goes like, "Arr!" like a little bird noise.
I have a proposal.
Alright,
We wait till
let's hear it.
tomorrow, and I'll do this ritual again, and specifically inquire about it going to you. These powers, from what we've seen, have affected people's minds in unpredictable ways. The first person we ever encountered who acquired them used to be a somewhat beloved member of his community. After he got these powers, he took sadistic pleasure in watching people burn to death over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. And I wish I didn't.
He grimaces.
So I think you'll understand why we're a bit cautious about this. The person you are now might be someone who can be trusted with them. The person you'll become, though, might be another story. So we'll ask about it. We'll consider it.
I understand.
Alright. In the meantime, Garrick ready for a diversion?
Garrick, yes, Garrick. He is, of course, leaping at the... Yes, he's ready.
Alright, let's see. Lead them away. I can talk to those in the church. Tell them the plan.
Okay.
Is Crim capable of keeping how long? Like, does he have like a duration for how long he can stay embiggened and
1
how
minute.
long? Okay, and how long is he able to like? What is his flight currently like?
He can fly on his turn.
So like, is anything? If he just continually like just flies and does not stop, is there anything that would like prevent him from doing that if he want to just kind of like keep Garrick in a constant flight?
When his turn ends, he stops flying.
So like you have to like be on the ground every 6 seconds.
As far as you can, the way I'm imagining it, until he gets proper flight in like 1 level or something, I think 2 levels, is like he has to jump to fly, and then he glides down slowly for the duration of 6 seconds, and then he jumps again, like really long bunny hops.
Gotcha. So then basically, it'd be a lot of danger to try to like just try to ferry Garrick around here because yeah, these people, they can move fast. We've learned firsthand.
We have the movement speed was like 10 feet during the fight. They didn't even cut them.
They're super slow as a horde.
Don't you remember like those hordes, like how they had like those little charge attacks that they did? They were pretty quick, like compared to what you'd expect from a.
When their prey is close, they could like aggressively like try and overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say, I don't think we need to get too mechanically deep into this. Let's zoom out for a bit here. I'm sure you've plenty of time. You can scope out the town. You have 2 residents who are familiar with the routes and stuff. Maybe you start sketching out a plan in the church. And I think all I would need to know is who's going to go, if anyone, with Team Garrick and Bait, and who's going to go to church to explain and evacuate. And encounter whatever is there.
Wade's going to church.
Esmer will also go to church.
It's
But he
Sunday.
needs to.
Crim
It's a
will
naughty rabbit.
keep your company.
I don't necessarily
Um,
know if we have like 2 separate teams yet, so
Yeah, let's see. Crim can only carry one person at a time normally, correct?
At his current size, he can carry one person.
I would
think.
potentially want to go with Crim so I can try to heal him up a bit.
Actually, quick question on that. I think it might actually be 2. Because mythic build is you can carry one more person than your size. As large, you can carry 2 people, but as medium, you can carry 1. So with mythic build, he can carry 2. Because he goes on 4 legs.
would that not make him go at half speed though? If he was carrying 2?
It would, I think. No, because he's a mount, so no, he'd be fine.
I'm pretty sure you can only carry one at a time. Unless you use overdrive.
Yeah, typically if you're like a mount, you gotta be a size category bigger.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I think the only reason. Then again, Alex is small.
You count as one size category larger when determining the weight you can carry, drag, or lift.
hmm And yeah, normal. So like you carrying a medium creature at normal speed with that build makes sense. Carrying 2, I think that'd be where it gets a little dicey. Is Garrick a medium or a small creature?
Well, hold on. Mythic build plus overdrive means you count as being huge, right?
Well, yes,
Overdrive
but I can
counts
only do
out
that
for a
for a
minute.
minute.
And
Oh,
I
for a
think this will
minute,
probably
yeah.
take much longer than a minute.
If
So
we had
overdrive is
some
out of the
time,
question for any prolonged things.
Yeah.
if we had time for me to switch out spells, I could take a large reduce.
Yeah.
Wow.
But maybe that'd be maybe a tomorrow thing.
I think it might. The most logical answer might just be for Crim to go with Garrick and just have the 2 of them, because I don't think it's really feasible for.
Crim could help tie Garrick to his back as some extra anchor, and then just climb the trees. He's got the athletics for that. And then
glide away.
When they try to get him, he will just hop trees. He can do that trivially.
Trivially.
Reginald says he can glide too, and he'd probably not show his face at the church and help convince them what's going on, so he'll stay with you and Garrick too.
Okay, so that'll be Crim, Garrick, and yeah, that'll be the distraction team. You guys can handle the rest.
Yeah, Turn will go to the church. At the very least, he can mend any damage that they have to do to get inside.
Okay, the plan is launched. You split up.
Let's split up, gang.
Yeah, start gathering all the stopped in town. They have a little increased ire and pain going towards Garrick with great desire. But you climb that tree, soon have no ground in sight, but instead just trees and a writhing carpet of people complaining about their pains and whatever's occupying them mentally on loop. And then those of you get to the church, the crowd now gone, and a bunch of surprised faces looking at you for answers. They would definitely let you in.
Good news, everyone. We've recovered the means to divert those we're still trying to help away from you all. For now, I need leaders amongst you to head out and lead everyone else on a short evacuation to the name of other town insert here.
Ted, I think.
Yeah, and Ted. Yeah, you can stay there temporarily while we'll do our best to resolve this, but for the sake of everyone's safety, that's the best course of action. Everyone pack up what supplies you can. We'll be heading out soon.
I think this will buy some time.
Alright, there's some questions. Did you find Gary? What about this? What about that? But they are also more than willing to leave this place. Some of them seem like they haven't seen sunlight in a long time, at least not directly on them. Well, no, there's sunlight that goes through the windows. Well, hey, they're still more than willing to leave, even though you're pestered with questions all the time. Maybe someone needs some cajoling from Cash. Definitely some things need to be repaired as you leave, Turner. But soon you have a small horde of people following you.
Turner would try to fly to the others to give the message to make themselves scarce from the crowd.
And the way we just try to organize some sort of leadership, so like basically they can operate independently, like to make the trip back to the other town.
Okay.
Cashmere's just directing people.
Devrina, that one person who had exposited to you recently, she helps coordinate too, and yeah, you've soon got a plan and a bunch of thank yous.
Mhm.
And 10-15 minutes later, you would be able to reconvene with Turner acting as messenger.
Messenger
Just
bird.
doing our job.
Were we
Do our job.
able to, because there were a few people who had closed themselves in various buildings around town as well, are we able to get them?
That would be much more laborious. You gather for every face that quickly hides itself, there's many more who are better hidden or not even watching at all. How many houses, how many shops would you be wanting to check if it's unlocked, break in? Up to you.
I'd be up for taking a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, I think probably time is kind of the essence here. I'm thinking what we might do is like kind of run through the hopefully now deserted streets, just kind of calling out something like everybody gather, we're going to evacuate, or something like that.
You get resolved for that approach and idea. And yeah, some delayed, some might be like the second pass through, like, okay, we're about to leave. People finally like come out. Many of them have questions. Many of them don't seem like they have the understanding of what's going on that you fortunately have been able to gain. Yeah, you have a bunch more refugees, if not everyone. And sure, there's some who are like, oh no, we have to go get FIFO, my little blah blah blah, or oh, I thought my aunt needed to go check on her. It's hard to corral everyone to leave their home, but you could at least tell them where to meet up, what the plan is, where to go.
I'll take what we can. I hope a bunch like the empty streets is like a few like stop, just like crawling along, like limping along, like one like zombies. Like like just like the empty street. There's just like one of them just limping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
You got that one shy who just trips while trying to chase the rest of them. That was
All
pretty
right. Well, so I suppose now like let's organize them, set them off, and then regroup to figure out the rest of the plan.
Sounds good.
I think so.
Regroup in a small little grassy tree area within sight of town and set up the river. It's almost dark now.
Now the fun part. All right. Well, do we just rest up until you can cast that spell again, Alex?
Yeah, if we're gonna try it again, we have to wait till tomorrow. So I
I'm
imagine this-
gonna need a proper rest and a bed and everything in order to be able to do that.
Well, we can return to the church.
I don't know that a town infested by people angrily trying to kill me is gonna cut it.
We
I was
watch me. Well,
I was under the impression that we were gonna be helping escort these people anyway.
Yeah,
there might have been like a
that's-
bit of like a miscommunication there, so maybe we can just kind of go with that, and then wherever we
Yeah,
end
that-
up, we'll.
That was my assumption as well.
oh,
Yeah.
Take them
I
to
thought
the nearby town.
I thought the intention was like we get them to like lead themselves essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
we still need a long rest, I guess, for trying that again and then heading back.
Yeah.
all right, works for me.
Yeah, and like I said, these people here who are stuck in this loop are very unlikely to change over a course of a day or two that we'll have to travel.
All right, works for me.
Okay. The next... Well, I think you'd have to unless you want to travel through the night to this town, which is half a day away.
Mhm.
You're gonna try and get a not great rest overnight here. Or
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we're gonna try to push all the way through the night.
Then you get another not sanctuary rest or whatever it's called, and
An intermediate rest.
yeah, intermediate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as you follow the river northeast along a well-traveled, stone-lined, wide road to the next village, what is your explanation? Like, roughly, what are you telling them about Garrick and the solution and the plans?
Telling the new village or people already or the refugees.
Refugees.
I think we just tell them that we don't know what the solution is right now, but at the very least we need to have like the space and the freedom to, or the space and the time to be able to do this, and which we obviously won't have if the people are stuck inside of their homes starving to death, or potentially going out there and getting themselves killed. So at the very least, getting those who are in danger out of here will give us that that space to find a solution.
What do you tell them about Garrick? Where is he?
Do you guys think we should tell them that Garrick's here?
Probably not. Maybe he's back inside the church. I don't know.
Yeah, should we just say like we're working with him to figure out a solution to this, essentially?
Or
That's basically the truth.
Yeah.
Just say that we're working with him, but we recognize the hostilities and figured it wouldn't be good for anyone's morale for him to be there right now.
Alright, yeah, we'll wait to relay that.
Many of them refuse to follow you in anything at this admission. The fact that you are working with Garrick instead of killing him or bringing him before them to work with him themselves to fix what's befallen them. They don't need your heroism, they need Garrick.
Their funeral.
And yeah, many still recognize you as being helpful and having solved this short-term solution, but what they want is Garrick.
I think what we can just say is that Garrick, fully plans to plans to atone and face whatever consequences that it will have, but we kind of
Actually,
but
no,
we
you first.
but we can at the very least rule out that him going into and getting crucified for this is going to potentially just keep all those people stuck how they are forever.
Yeah, Crim will actually, at the remarks of, we just want to talk to him, and also accompanied by, we want to kill him, Crim will kind of rise up a little bit, make himself look bigger with his wings, and ask, and then do what? And basically, test them, if we brought him here, would you have just killed him and then sealed their fates completely? Think.
There'd be a lot of debating, what do you know? You know how it works? Just like every other enchantment, most people seem to believe in this group that you kill the person who casts this thing upon them, then it will go away. That's how most bad voodoo and magic works.
I'm gonna tell them no, that's not how
Crim,
magic in general works.
and then helping Alex, Crim will immediately list off several counterexamples that he has read about.
And I think Turner could probably list many that he has known for sure, in practice through his own studies and stuff.
Okay. You would also know some curses and enchantments that would dissolve when the caster is no longer living, but yeah, there are counterexamples.
Those
you can provide
require concentration. He was definitely not concentrating.
And there'd be other arguments they have too, you're not going to let us, the people who know this person way more than you, who are suffering through it, you're just going to take this option from us because you think you know better? Who are you? Do you even know what you're doing? Do you know exactly what this does? Clearly not. You can't reverse it. There's a lot of discontent.
And Turner would, at the very least, mention that they are still working with some people, from the town, with the people from both the different churches here who are working with them as well. And it's not just them kind of alone, but at the very least,
Can't we just refer to Reginald at this point?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that will take our down more if you prefer to Reginald.
Him as
But
just
they're
an
also-
example.
Many refugees who are more peaceful, tired, rational, perhaps, who just say, don't listen to them. Thank you very much. We've been through hell, and the fact that you are even working on this on our behalf as mere silk guards is incredible. So thank you.
We should make that our name somehow. It was,
The Silk Guard.
Oh, the silk song. Oh, wait.
God damn it.
But then, thank you. All right, we'll take you we can. We need to rest ourselves anyways. So, I guess we'll head out with whoever wants to come along with us.
Well, first we're gonna once we actually make it to town, we got the long rest and yeah. If they don't want to follow, good fucking luck on wherever else they plan on going, but kind of gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't even know where they could possibly feasibly go. Back? Yeah, good luck.
Just the woods.
You make it to Unted, which is significantly smaller than Valandria, and will not serve as a great long-term solution for refugees, obviously, but these people, provide blankets, tents. Becomes a bit of an occupied town. You aren't able to get lodging unless you fork out a lot of money, but you could certainly feel safe and well enough to sleep in more comfortable sleeping arrangements and to get that sanctuary rest.
Yay! Nice.
It
Alright,
is
then.
of critical importance that I do get that for what we're going to try to do.
Yeah. I'll take the time over between sessions that we're gonna end pretty soon to figure out. Okay, what kind of spells can I switch out? Because I think between the travel, I'll be able to get a total of 2 between the intermediate and then the long rest for, some spells that might do me a bit better. Definitely some crowd control oriented spell would definitely be needed. But that'll be something to figure out, like I said, between.
Okay. After a much needed full refresh the next day, which is lightly cloudy, you meet up outside of your small little encampments, outside of a little stable. What do you do?
Didn't expect this, but I missed the City of Shadows.
So where is Garrett right now?
I guess that's a good question of where we would have had him stay,
Yeah.
huh?
Just got him running over a hill away.
You left him for dead. He's been mauled to death in Valandria.
Yeah, like we could have maybe had him just stay in the church, but although him being alone would probably be pretty.
Yeah, that's a
pretty dangerous.
terrible idea.
I mean, he knows how to survive.
Yeah, he could say he could just
He
hide
could've-
somewhere, stay in the water.
He can go back to where he was hiding before, like, and we can.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I was gonna say hiding in the river or something is probably the best idea, and we can meet him at some point on the way back to Valandria.
We're just like walking along the trail. We just see like a little text box in the bottom right. Garrick has been knocked out. 5 seconds later, Garrick has died.
Okay, so I think Alex wanted to do something.
He has to be present for me to do this because it has to be something being done within the next 30 minutes.
Oh,
So I can't. So
So return to Valandria?
Yeah.
I think so.
With your yeah.
Yep.
we
Well, at least he survived and not,
meeting spot.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we're bringing... blanking on names. Reginald with us as well, presumably.
Would any of the church people want to come with us, like from either of them, to assist, or?
I don't know that their assistance is going to help. I think they might just get in the way, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
if they want to, there's only so much we can do to stop them, but I don't know that we would necessarily extend the invitation.
Okay, fair enough. Then you return to the meeting spot just outside of Elandria. Garrick is there, eager to do whatever you think can help.
Okay. If he and Reginald are both present, then I am going to ritual cast Augury again. This time specifically about the plan of Garrick transferring his powers to Reginald.
Okay, one moment.
God, it feels like it took a week for this spell to cast.
Okay.
We like, whoa.
So, one of the things I don't like about Augury is,
Why do we bother?
like I said, what decision has purely good or purely bad results? Like, only the simplest and straightforward of, oh, if I throw rock and rock, paper, scissors, is it wheel, woe, or neither? Like, you know? So I feel like if it's 90% good and 10% bad, that should have a wheel of results, right?
Right.
Can you use it in like quadrants? Like it's 75% good.
Going by that, this time the sticks land almost like a teepee, like they're all connected at the middle and they don't shift or fall apart. Wheel.
Oh, I think I know that one. That's a good one, right? That's different from last time. Unless it's a knife that's about to stab us, then it's woe.
Well, Garrett, can you figure out how to relinquish those powers?
Oh, so it's the good one. Okay.
Oh no, I thought you knew that.
Oh, why did we do this?
Well, actually, here's the way it usually works: is once you realize that everything that you were trying doesn't quite work out, and you basically have no more need or use for the power, and you want to be done with it, it kind of just happened. It's just by your will and your resignation that
or
your
your lack
time
of
is up
will.
with it.
Hmm.
Do you still feel possessive of this power? Do you still feel like you need it, like only you can use it? How much are you clinging to this?
No,
still?
I know that I can't undo what I did. I don't want this. I want to give it to you.
Then
It's not. I mean, here it can't. I don't know how this works.
Do I feel like there's something I would try to do if I was to try to give up the powers I have?
That is
Turner.
not. Neither of you, nor Wade, none of you innately know how to
wait.
give it up.
Crim thinks back. Reginald, this may seem weird, but try to do Crim. Who's nearest to Crim right now? Of the party?
Cashmere.
Yeah, sure, Cashmere.
Crim grabs Cashmere, and like starts like trying to position him like a mannequin with his hands, because Crim can't properly do it. Just keep it like that. Do something like this, and follow your instincts or something. and Crim had made Cashmere mimic the pose that Devron had done when asking, "Give your powers to me." It must have something to do with that gesture.
So he holds out his paws. Are you sure about this? But okay.
No, but we gotta try.
Okay.
Not
Give-
you, though. It has to be Reginald.
Oh. Okay.
Reginald looks pleased at how this direction is going. Steps forward and holds his hands out. You recall that Devron had said this in response to something Turner had said. Do you know what it was that prompted him to do that gesture? It was like...
We said that we had our powers. We had like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Or 2 of them. A couple of
Yeah,
them. And his eyes bulged out, and he's like...
No, but it was a
Grants
specific
them.
turn of phrase or
We've,
word.
We've cleaned up 3 of some of these calamities and have taken some of the powers.
Share the burden, give the burden to me, is something that he said to that extent.
There was something else, but the way... At any rate...
I roll an intelligence saving
Reg-
throw with Crim to recall what was
Well, I think-
specifically said.
I think Tal's trying to remember too.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know why he did that, though, but it was because of the way Turner said it. But anyway, Reginald holds out his hands with his wings coming out of his arms and earnestly looks, says that he's ready to help, just give him the chance. And it seems fully willing. Garrick steps forward, nods, and tries to feel something that does not come to him. And they both look stumped, a little irritated. And as you all think about how do you get this process to occur in this case, that is where we shall call it for today.
You know, like getting a result on Willow implies that it can be done.
Does certainly imply that there is a way to do it.
It was always brought up by some sort of change in demeanor.
And it would happen within the next 30 minutes.
Gosh, I hope the answer isn't we just have to kill Garrick.
No.
I did consider that idea, but I'm like, no, we're not gonna just like. First of all, I don't think anybody here has a Revivify prepared as well as the component for it, but yeah.
I almost prepared gentle repose. I should have done that.
Oh my god.
All right, well, we will
Why is
we'll think upon this for the next week, and then we'll get back to you guys. Thank you all for joining. Oh, and
Yeah,
we
thank
might
you.
be at a different time, so we'll update that in the Discord, which you should totally join. Bye bye.
Yeah!